Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for another round of Pyre, in which it seems like we're already set to go back for round 2 of a liberation rite. So, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on us, but there's a lot of benefit to be had, potentially. We'll see who we can, potentially, free. We have Pamitha, who, in the previous round, just faced off against her sister, and in a very close right, we won out. Let's see what she has to say. Despite Pamitha's mental conditioning, you can tell something is troubling her. She won't listen to a word I say. Not one damn word. If she weren't my blood sister, I would think I'd hate her guts as much as she hates mine. She shakes her head. I should apologize. To you and everyone. I sought out Pamitha without asking your leave. Figured I would rather see forgiveness than permission. You understand? My attempts with Pamitha didn't amount to much, as you well saw. So, at this point, I'm hopeful you'll be more accepting of my apologies than me. Though, tell me something, reader, darling. Do you suppose I'm going to betray you? You may know better than I do at this point. Pamitha wishes to know where you think her loyalties lie. So, Pamitha has an interesting history with us, in that when we first met her, she was... was she technically still alongside her sister? She might have been. And then there were some questions as to whether or not we should allow her to join our group, because there were thoughts that she might try to betray us, seeing as how she was associated with some adversaries mere moments ago. We opted to take that risk, and she tagged along with us, and up to this point, she has been loyal. And we had another test this past rite, in which, as I was saying, we went up against her sister once more, and it seemed that she tried to make some deal with her sister in which the two of them might switch places? I'm not totally sure as to why that would appeal to either of them, but for some reason, apparently, Pamitha seemed to be the one who was proposing this idea in the first place, and I'm not sure what to make of all that. Is that some backhanded, stab us in the back type of thing, where she's trying to make us mess up? Spoil our plan? Or is there something about this whole plot that she has that we don't yet know about or don't fully understand? So, and yet she seems to always... She knows that we're very suspicious of her, or at least that we have reason to be very suspicious of her. So for her to outright ask us if we trust her like this is a little strange, but understandable given her history. So, I think we say that we trust her. Loyalty has to be earned. We believe she will stand with the Nightwings. Otherwise, we say admit to having reservations. She has made quite clear that her priority is to her blood sister. Let's say we trust her. I think she's a little bit on the fence here, and we want to reinforce to her that she should side with us and not her sister. If we say this, then she's going to say, well, I didn't need you guys anyway, I'm going to go with her. Whereas if we say we trust her, then she might feel more accepted and be more likely to tag along with us and be a true ally that we can rely upon. You express to Pamitha that you do not view her efforts to make peace with Pamitha as being contradictory to the group's larger goals. You understand why she did what she did. She says nothing for a while. That's kind of you to say, darling. May the others see it with such generosity, but if they don't, you need but tell me to depart, and I'll be on my way. However, I have a promise that I wish to make to you. You let me stay, and I'll see this through, with all of you, no matter where we all end up. I'll be on the roof for a bit, I think. You take care, too. Despite Pamitha's disappointment with the outcome of her confrontation with her blood sister, you sense she is less troubled now after your brief conversation. Okay. Sure. I think we got a bunch of pages in the Book of Rites after the last rite. So let's see what we have here. The Greater Titans. Right, so they just started appearing. The words of Underking Ors. Sea Sojourner. The stars shine strange beneath the sea. This one dared rise from the waters so that he could see them flame, the burning essences of those who came before. Our lives are but a quest to join the stars. This one longed to be the brightest, but in the downside, this one met those whose own stars shall doubtless burn least as hot. Together, we achieved great deeds. You may have seen some evidence of it, the remains of the greater Titans, which once darkened this dark land. But in our kinship was the strength to conquer them. It is this one's humble charge to chronicle those deeds, and may the Titan stars never stain the sky during your time. Well, unfortunately, they now do. Okay, I think we have at least one more, if not two. I honestly can't even read what that says. Andrija, the widow. In the words of Underking Orbs, sea sojourner, the boundless sea of Solus and a blackened star are all of what remains of the blood titan Andrija. After this one's exile, he was joined by many of his bravest worm knights, who awakened the blood titan inadvertently while searching the downside's murky depths. Andrija was most displeased to see her hibernation end, and vowed to 4 ages of torment, on us and on our sea dominion. Our assault was grander than can be described, and lasted days and days and days. The noblest of worm knights fell upon her massive form as waves which dashed themselves against the rocks. Our resolve eventually exceeded hers, and she collapsed into the seas and disappeared. This one alone remained to tell of it. I think there's one more? The Essence. Okay, so this is the team that we just went up against. In the words of Haul the Swallow, the Accursed. The winged members of the Essence, each chosen by the matriarch Triesta Titus, are living exemplars of liberty and piety. Would that my wings could be thus. Once, of course, you must know, we all had wings. It is said the people of the Empire relinquished theirs, drawn in by earthly matters as they were. But the hearts, such as Triesta, held tight to the liberty their plumage could afford. These divergent paths did cause a share of differences between the winged and the wingless over time. But here, in this land, our purposes are shared, our goals united. That, then, is the Essence. That is who they are, and what, and why. Okay, so that's it in terms of entries in the Book of Rites. And as we can see here, despite our best efforts to knock the dissidents down a peg by handing them a loss, for whatever reason, they still managed to be the second-ranked team on here, or the first-ranked after us, who automatically get to compete in Liberation, right? And I mean, I'm a little disappointed in that because I feel like we did everything we could to make it so that they would not be as successful as that, because I deliberately wanted to avoid this happening, and yet we succeeded, but it still ended up happening. So that's a little frustrating. But, I mean, that'll be our true test, right? Can we beat the only team that has beaten us thus far in the Liberation rank? One would hope. One would hope. Oh, what's this? I think it's just lore, if I remember from a previous time when we passed something like this. As you soar above the waters of Worm Gulf, you notice Sir Gilman sidle up next to you, very slowly. We are very, very, very high above the waters, if this knight is not mistaken. This knight's brethren lurk beneath the surface there, in numbers untold. Fortunately, if we were to come crashing to the surface now, then this knight, why, he would receive a watery burial in the custom of his kind. Well, thank you for that. But continuing to head north, I think we'll be there soon. We shall see. I think there is a speed boost button. I think it's immediately after this one. Maybe. Possibly. Eh? Yes. Somewhere over here-ish. Point of interest? Maybe here? The inverted fall of Solium roars into the sky. Oh, it falls up. Interesting. Somewhere behind it lies the Commonwealth, beyond your vision and beyond your grasp. Alas, that we can't simply fly back up to our homeland. This wagon has its limitations, I'm afraid. But we shall return yet. Let us continue now along the path. Okay, sure, but see, the thing is, like, where do we land? Because I thought it was over here. Oh, okay. One of two choices. Let's give them both a look. Emperor's Ascent, a gap through the nameless lower summits beneath Mount Elodial. Since Headwind shall gain favor from the scribes if you land here. Versus over here, Emperor's Fall, pathway on the outskirts of Mount Elodial's nameless lower summits. Since Tizo shall gain favor from the scribes if you land here. Okay, so one thing that we're gonna need to decide this very, very soon, is in this upcoming rite, we need to determine who we would like to set free, or at least have the potential to set free. And I'm not entirely sure who we want to pick. We can't take we don't have the chance or the opportunity to take everyone. We obviously picked Jodariel the first go-round, and our two other remaining original teammates, Ruki and Headwind, are both eligible. And then I think there are two more, maybe three. I think Tay is now also eligible. And I think Pamitha is. And I'm not totally sure what the best option there is. Because, on one hand, you could say, well, we want to keep the people who we think are most helpful in the rites so that we can continue to be competitive, especially as things get more difficult as time goes on. But also, one thing we might want to bear in mind is I feel like there's a chance that if we're looking at our plan, so to speak, and the success rate of said plan that increases every time we're successful with a rite, and presumably increases significantly every time we're successful in sending someone to the Commonwealth, I wonder if there's a difference between, sending Headwind and sending Pamitha, for example. Headwind being one of the primary characters, again, one of the original people that we met down here, and presumably has a little bit more leadership skills that might prove helpful in our plan. Is that meaningful to have him in the Commonwealth? More so than it is having Pamitha? Am I reading into this too much? I don't know. But I think we should side with Edwin. Because I don't think Tizo is one of the ones that we can get immediately to get liberated. In which case, I don't think he's as high a priority. If in fact, whoever we pick here is going to become more powerful. So you make landing on the sacred Mount Elodial, upon whose summit the next liberation rite shall soon take place. You wonder who among you may regain his or her freedom this time. That's what I'm wondering. Wolfred finds you after the post-flight inspection. We shall have to take the rest of the trip to the Fall of Solium by land. We may soon liberate another of our own here. That should raise the chances of our plan shall ultimately succeed. Wolfred's ambitious plot to spark a revolution in the Commonwealth as peacefully as possible. Yeah, again, I highly suspect that word peaceful in there. Maybe if we get to like 100%, then it could truly be peaceful. But we heard from a few other people, I forget who it was specifically, who seemed to have the most damning of descriptions of it. But it seems as though this may actually be a plot to assassinate the leader, in which case that doesn't seem so peaceful. But anyways, let's continue. Anyone to talk to? No? Okay, seek the Harp Scribe's favor, I suppose. Join Headwind on a pilgrimage to Trieste Tivis. Later that day, you accompany Headwind into the quiet solitude of Emperor's Ascent, where a monument to Trieste Tivis awaits. gap through the nameless low summits. Okay, this is where we chose to go. And this is one of the scribes. 5th of the 8 scribes of the Book of Rites, known as the Disciplined, the Blessed Board. Perhaps due to the nature of this place, you begin to sense Hedwyn's inner thoughts as clear as if he were speaking aloud. We have to prevail. Whether on my behalf or not, I do not care right now. We have to prevail, for everyone's sake. Please, help us do this. Help us. Soon, you and he are finished paying your respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Trieste Tippus has shown you favor. At dawn, you shall begin your ascent. For now, the solitude here is fit for pursuing your vocations. Hedwyn gained +2 quickness for the next rite. That's big. Hedwyn is well-rounded. He's fairly quick. Quick enough to potentially do some damage, and getting +2 starts to move him into the truly quick territory, I think. So that could be quite notable. And might be reason enough to choose Hedwyn as the person to make that attempt to become free. Here we see Hedwyn. You find Hedwyn rather lost in thought about something. He looks over as you approach. Oh, hey my friend. Alright, so what's it going to be? He points to the direction of his cooking tin strewn over in the corner of the wagon. One of life's small comforts around here is we get to eat. Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful for it, but there's only so much to choose from, whether here in Mount Elodio or anywhere around, I guess. Anyway, I was just having trouble trying to decide what to cook. Just had fire caps again last night, and those who never seem to sit that well with anyone, with everyone, anyway. There's no more glop guilt. Not that anyone but Tizo ever liked that stuff, and I feel like we've been having gutter crabs every day for months, so I'm not too excited about that. This is where you come in, and no consulting books or stars, or anything, just you and me, here and now. What am I making? You decide, because I can't. I know there's a lot of serious stuff to think about these days, so help me, no one struggling to regain their freedom on an empty stomach. Hedwyn wishes to know your meal preference. A fillet of slurg. An acquired taste, acquired mostly through a prolonged and desperate stay within the downside. Doesn't sound so great. Silt porridge also doesn't sound very pleasant. A notorious dish that Hedwyn has perfected to the upper limits of its capacity to not be terrible. Good, I guess. Ask for gutter crabs again. This inoffensive option has the added benefit of putting some lucky gutter crabs out of their misery. Ask for whatever he wants. It is exceedingly difficult to choose from all the delectable meal options in the downside. I don't know about that. I don't know. Silt porridge? I guess? You ask that Hedwyn prepare another batch of his silt porridge for the group. He eyes you warily as you request this, searching you for any trace of irony. All right, my friend. Never took you for the silt porridge type, but so be it. I guess even after all this time, we still have such much to learn about each other. Now lend me a hand here with this stuff, would you? You assist Hedwyn with preparing the silt porridge. Two of you get to talking about the past. The reality of cooking in the downside has a way of making him nostalgic. Life on the Blood Border wasn't that much easier than trying to get by down here. The Highwing remnants could swoop in at any time. They were so good at picking the worst possible occasions. The time they showed up and I was nowhere to be found, I must have told you about that. He's spoken to you of his past as an outrider once before. Oh, so I guess maybe if you hadn't taken that route before, then this would potentially be an option to still hear that out of him? Well, either way, I don't think I ever told you much about the Khan. Someone for whom Hedwyn cares deeply. They were separated from the Commonwealth. Presumably, this is the person that he fled to see, who was technically supposed to be one of his enemies. I was riding to relay an order. when she caught me out in the open. She could have had me, but we just stood there. I'd never seen anything like her. And her voice, she says to me, you ought to be more careful with your life. And I just say, I'm not the type to say such things. It's all I could think of, looking at her then, and I just told her. It's worth the risk. Anyway, she spared my life, of course, and when we saw riders heading toward us, I looked at her, she took hold of me, and we just took off. I didn't want to leave her, and I didn't for a while. He trails off for a while. Soon after I came back, I went off in search of her again. This time, though, risk I took. A lot of people paid for it. The harps attacked, and no one was there to raise the alarm. A few days later, Hedwyn the deserter was sentenced to exile. And now, he's about to cook some silt porridge. Thanks for your help, my friend. I can take it from here. See you shortly. He heads out into the afternoon. You sense he feels more at ease after having spoken. Hedwyn gained +2 hope for the next rite. Hedwyn is getting all of the boosts. To show up here, Reader's Influence, yeah, Scribe's Favor as well, I think is where that second +2 is coming from. And then Hope, High Morale, and Reader's Influence as well. So yeah, this is certainly looking like this might be Hedwyn's time to succeed. It's time to shine. I'm somewhat reluctant to say goodbye to him, though, because on the other hand, you feel like he has, by and large, been the leader of this group when we've been, trying to gather all these people together. I know, obviously, we have Treebeard as well, but, I still feel like I side with Hedwyn more than I do with him, so, yeah. I guess he's still my front runner right now. So, it's either him, it's Ruki, or I don't know who I'd pick after that. I think it might be Hedwyn. Just feels like we wouldn't be the same group without him is all. Okay, so we can deliberately try to make one person more powerful. We can make everyone a little more powerful. Or we can try to get something of value. Let's take a quick look. Is anyone close to leveling up? Like Hedwyn, for example. Such that they could rank up for the next rite and give us a nice little advantage. Ruki also would. A also would. Tizo just did. Okay. So he would not after one more rite, or after giving him a private lesson. Sir Gilman would, but he is still, I think, far and away the least enlightened out of everyone. Kanatha would also level up, actually. We take a quick look here. I think she has a pretty amazing one. She has +8 quickness with her next level. That seems awfully convincing. If we were to go to Hedwyn, what might we pick up with him? Hedwyn and his allies cause banished adversaries to remain banished for 2 seconds longer than usual. That's also amazing. Both of those things are pretty sweet. Hedwyn and his allies may instantly return banished allies by moving to where they fell. That's good. And Hedwyn is really good. He has those support skills that help everyone in the party, not just himself, more so than anyone else, really. I don't know. It's a tough decision. We could get either of you to become way more powerful. But if we're going to try to get Hedwyn to have his day, then I think we give it... you could also make the case that, well, don't waste your time trying to upgrade him if this is going to be his last go-round with the team. But I think it might be best to play it safe and make sure that we get Hedwyn to succeed. So we level him up, and then we do choose to make him our special person that we're given the chance for freedom. Let's do it. Of course, we're going all the way we're going all this way. There we go. We'd better make the most of it. Hedwyn gains a somewhat stronger grasp of how to better pass the celestial orb through strength of will and trust in one's triumvirate, than through dexterity alone. He nods in understanding. No matter what anyone says, I refuse to think that there's some sort of limit to one's understanding of all this. It could also be that getting people free who are higher rank does more for improving our chances of success of the plan. I could definitely see that being the case. You know, if you get someone who's rank 1 across versus getting someone who's all the way at rank 5, that might be a real difference maker. But anyways, Hedwyn and his allies cause banished adversaries to remain banished for 2 seconds longer than usual. That is actually a very significant amount. And I like how it applies across the board, not just Hedwyn, but to everyone, regardless of whether Hedwyn is currently on the battlefield or if he's banished, it should still apply. The stars themselves have such a key part to play in all this, don't they? Okay. Now we continue. Right. We go the Temple High Road, first of 2 paths leading to the mountain summit, since Sir Gilman shall gain favor from the scribes along this route. Or the second of 2 paths leading to the mountain summit, the Temple Cistern, since Pamitha shall gain favor from the scribes along this route. So basically, do we see using Pamitha, or do we see using Sir Gilman? And let's see, we're going against the Dissidents, so all of the really speedy curs. I think last time we went against them, we used Ruki, we used Pamitha. I don't remember who our last person was. It might have been Tay. But I think if we're planning around who we're going to use this time, obviously we're planning on using Hedwyn. I think we probably will use Ruki again. We'll probably use Pamitha. I think that's probably our team, in which case we would prioritize getting Pamitha to become more powerful, at least in the short term. Hopefully, that's a good idea. Shall see, though. On the way to the summit, you pass a monument to Underking Ords, and Pamitha happens to take notice. You wish for good fortune in the coming rite, and in your plan. As for Pamitha... Talking to the dead again, Pamitha? Fine. Why not? Ought to keep your mind off things. Just don't go getting your hopes up. Your life back there, it wouldn't be any better anyway. She says little after paying her respects. However, as you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Underking Ords has shown you favor. Pamitha gained +3 glory in the next rite. Ooh, affects the damage dealt to the Pyre. That is usually very difficult to get. So to get +3, that is, I think, quite notable. I mean, granted, she would have to actually reach the Pyre several times in order for that to make a meaningful difference, because most of the time we're dealing damage in increments of 5 or even 10 or 20. So for it to really make a big difference, it would mean you'd probably have to make Pamitha your primary scorer, which could be the case. My guess is it will be Ruki and her collectively. But let's see. You and your companions gather once more at the Scribe's Gate, where a single narrow trail leads upward toward the summit, past an archway carved in stone. Come this way, please. The minstrel leads you toward the archway, where his counterpart awaits. The exiles of the Nightwinds have returned. They have. Greetings, Celeste. She all but ignores him and motions to the rest of you. Now then, each of you, in turn, please state your name and what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. Please, do just as she says. Everyone steps forth, one after another, much like before. Pamitha passes through the gate. Tiso passes through the gate. Sir Gilman passes through the gate. I'm sure why he had a more dramatic appearance than the others. Ruki passes through the gate. Edwin passes through the gate. Tay passes through the gate. Bolfred passes through the gate. No one is left to go but you. You step forth and declare yourself as you did before. The guardian of Scribe's Gate regards you with a still expression. Then she addresses all of you in her formal manner. The 8 scribes bid the Nightlings welcome. Go forth with glory. The lone minstrel glances up at the gate guardian. You have our gratitude, Celeste. But she pays him no heed. Off we go! Liberation Rite number 2. We'll see if we can repeat our success. We're going up against a dangerous enemy. One that has proved challenging in the past, so this is no guarantee by any stretch. Again, you gain the top of the mountain Elodium, from which the downside sprawls before you. You wonder whether one among you should soon shall follow Jodariel from this land. Right. Page revealed the fall of Solium. Let's take a look at that. That is, I think, sort of the key historic event that much of the whole history that we've seen has been built around. Pre and post Fall of Solium. Fall of Solium, in the words of Luce Glorian. Oh, also let's do this so that it's actually legible. From the top of Mount Elodium, the downside may be seen in its entirety, or at least felt, since so much of the land is shrouded, but that is hardly all. Through a wondrous miracle, there lies upon this highest mountain an inverted fall, whose waters crash not toward the sea, but rush toward the heavens. We speculate these are the very waters which delivered us, but now bend backward, seeking their return, as do we all. In this phenomenon can freedom be achieved, but only for the chosen. Time is right. This is a path to freedom we cannot traverse. We shall leave open for you, so that you may strive for it. What we're going for. Anything else of note in here? I feel like I'm hearing the jingles. Apparently not. I mean, we do still have Tizo's trial that we have yet to complete, but I don't anticipate using Tizo in this round. So I don't think that should matter. And we have another round of slug markets. I mean, we have 8 coins at the moment, so I don't exactly think this is going to make a big difference, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see what we have here. Oh, hey, guys, you know, it gets real awful cold up here sometimes, waiting for customers, so come on, okay? And luck in that big bad battle thing you got. That's where you're going, isn't it? I heard it's gonna be exciting from my friends. Okay, again, we have Stardust things that we cannot afford. Do we have anything that we ought to sell? I don't think so. I think that's about it. We don't have anything. Maybe some other time then, guys. Right, and that means this is the time. Make our move. Time has come for your second liberation rite to commence. You observe the lone minstrel and Bolfred speaking in hushed tones, but cannot sense the topic or the tone. Yeah, there's something going on between these two. I know they have a history between each other, but there's a lot of things that they are not telling us, and I am still suspicious. Then, Bolfred looks up at you. I trust that you are feeling as prepared as possible. Each rite is consequential to our journey, in its own respect, though these liberation rites have a more immediate effect. It's somewhat crass, however. I've gone and estimated by how much each of our companions may contribute to the outcome of our plan, should they be liberated here. Okay, this is exactly what I was wondering about. I was thinking this might be a thing, that there might be a difference between liberating one exile versus another, and okay, confirmed. That is true. There is a difference. Factors such as their previous occupation, innate tendency to lead, and oratory skill contributed to my assessment. It's nothing personal, for we are all in this together. Like High School Musical. No. Besides, we are all ought to return, in time, if possible. Know simply that, for each one of us who goes, in doing so, he or she shall raise our total chances of success. Reader, sir, this night you shall confront the dissidents. They have already appointed Barker to be liberated, should they manage to prevail. Understandable. We have faith in you, boy. And lo, even the stars agree on this account. Yeah, understandable that they would make their leader the person who would potentially become free. No way am I going to use any of the Titan-y stuff this go-round. I mean, let's see what this new one is that we haven't seen before. At the start of the right, your adversary's Pyre shall automatically gain 30 life. Oh, and I didn't see this bonus here. Total bonus if you prevail, plus 3% enlightenment. What did this one have? Plus 3% enlightenment? Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe on the normal rights, but not the liberation right. There's too much at stake here. I don't think that is worth taking that chance. Not this time. You'll have to excuse me. Exiles whom you liberate return to the Commonwealth in glory. They can no longer aid you in the rights.
The Night Wings have returned unto the fall of Solium, at which the scribes first formed their sacred union. At stake this night is freedom and prosperity. But only for one exile who prevails in this liberation rite. Your many adversaries all did strive to earn this opportunity.
I'm not sure these guys deserved it.
Dissidents which earned it.
I don't know, we beat them.
Who shall be absolved is up to all of you.
Oh, what? What? Why do we have 70? Oh, it was still activated! Oh, are you serious? We need to deactivate it? It stays activated from one round to the next? I strongly disagree. No. I strongly disagree with that. I think that is not the way that ought to be designed. I mean, breaking the fourth wall a little bit here, but I mean, I do not think you ought to have designed the game that way. It should reset with every right so that you don't accidentally run into a situation like this, because each right should be treated independently. Just because you chose one of the additional challenges in a given point in time does not mean that you are necessarily inclined to do so on the future right, because, again, each of them are totally independent, and, yeah, that makes me nervous. I mean, I don't think that 3% enlightenment bonus is worth anything when, comparatively speaking, you know, the risk is that we don't get someone liberated, which is just such a higher price to pay than an additional 3%, or not having an additional 3%. So if we could undo that, I would, but I don't think we can, so oh well. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed, one of the dissidents, come forth now, and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Barker bursts out from some hidden corner, laughing as he paws at his mask. A real pleasure to be here, mates, truly. Barker Ashpaws. Call me Barker, though, alright? By the way, it was a real pisser getting here, you know? We got beaten, but we're here anyway, and I don't know why. Begging your pardon, Barker Ashpaws? You thusly speak upon the summit of the sacred mountain? Oh my, so terribly sorry to offend you there, lassie. I forgot, we got the stars above there to make me watch me language. So let's get one thing straight, lassie. I don't give a bother for your sacred mountain. So you take it, and you shove it. Me and my pack, we're here just for the laughs. You got that? The other side ain't any better than this one. We ain't interested in your freedom. But just the same, we're gonna get it. Take it from those wee little babes. They're so antsy for it. Hear that, you Nightwings? We'd better put up a good fight here, or I ain't gonna be happy. Understand? He then shoves his mask back on. Right, come on. Let's hurry up and get this damn thing started. Now then, have the Nightwings reached a decision on whose behalf they shall conduct the liberation rite? Reader, I am bound to tell you once more. The first companion whom you choose shall go free at this very night if you prevail. Only the enlightened may thus be anointed. Not all among you may yet be ready. The other two chosen for the triumvirate shall lend their aid. Nightwings, make your decision.
Who would you set free?
Alright, let's see. So will you tell us anywhere what the chances, or how much this person would help us? We go to the bio. This Treebeard was just saying, he's calculated, and we... Oh, that is the wrong hotkey. I pressed T, which is apparently not the correct option. Rookie is unworthy? I thought he was worthy. Oh, wow. These are not the people who I thought we were going to have the option to choose. Granted, Hedwyn is still there, so I think that is still the person that we'll take. But I thought that Rookie, at least Rookie, was worthy. Maybe even Tamitha. Okay. Let's use his unique talisman, sure. And I can't see how much he would improve our chances if we do succeed, but I assume he must be really high up there, again, given that he is, I think, our highest ranked character at the moment, and one of the original members of the team. This is my shot to go free, but I can't just leave the rest of you.
Who shall strive for him?
Okay, so who will assist him? I think the answer is Rookie, and I think the other answer is Tamitha. Let's make sure... Oh, Nate. Would we rather have a different talisman for Rookie, or do we really like his unique one the most? After Rookie casts his aura, it lingers longer than usual. I'm still not convinced that that's amazing. Honestly, I think that might be better. And then... going Tamitha, I think her unique talisman, legendary talisman, is amazing. Comparatively speaking. Don't have to ask me twice. Not after everything Hetty and I've been through. Oh, he calls him Hetty. That's so cute. Tamitha? Sure. Let's get him out here then.
The choice is cast.
Alright then, mates. No more waiting. No more holding back. And let's rip him to shreds. Let's go, go, go! Oh. Oh, I missed! Uh-oh. Bad start. About time we got this blasted business underway, eh, Greentail? Rookie looks on in silence, but says nothing in response. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We got him before. We can do it again. We can do it again. It seems Rookie feels uncharacteristically confident in the outcome of this liberation rite. You never were no fun at all, Greentail. You know that, eh? You never were cut to run with us. So, if I end up getting out tonight, don't you go thinking you can have my spot. You get me? My pack would sooner chew you up. Now you just think on that, as we go and wipe the floor with you. Come on. Ooh. Okay, good, good. Oh, that was a bad idea. A very bad idea. I think. Uh-oh. Dropped it. Oh! No, I ran straight into that. I meant to fly. Oh. Gotcha. Whew. Okay, that's a quick one, but I think they are still in the lead. What? What the? Alright, mates. Something's gone right funny up with that orb, I can tell. Better laugh it up while we still can, eh? Indeed, something strange seems to have happened to the celestial orb. It shudders now, as though possessed of the same chaotic power as your adversaries. What? That doesn't sound good. No, so close. Nope. Gotcha. Uh-oh. Saw that. She can't stop me. No! That was really bad. That was really, really bad. Yep. I handed that one to them. Meanie?
Positively brutish.
No! Oh, where is this thing? Over here, apparently? Okay, got it. It's close. It's very close.
Perhaps you are worthy.
Oh, I didn't make it. No, I also... What? Uh-oh.
Alas,
One more hit and we're down.
the Nightwing's adversaries gained an edge.
Oh, I didn't know if we made that one. One hit away for either of us.
Come now, someone in this.
Nope.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
there goes the harp.
You can do it! Ooh! Man, we just can't... we can't have it easy, can we? Oh, but we did it.
Adversaries,
Wow.
the same cannot be said.
Ooh, man. It was a close one, alright. It was a close one. It's hanging on the edge of my seat.
And thus the scribes have chosen.
That's Hedwyn.
The exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free. Absolved of all misdeeds. Return to glory in the Commonwealth. His adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their frightful sentences.
What a joke! Here I was thinking we were gonna make him cry after all this. Come on, mates. I've had it with this stuck-up place. So let's get out of here already, eh? I mean, of all the people to beat, it does feel good to take them down. We did it. Then, I guess that means I have to go. I broke my vow to him, that we would all go free, together. Reader, my friend, why would you do this? Will you ever forgive me? We'll be there too. Don't worry, Edwin. We'll catch up eventually. Connie, wait for me. Wait for me. He remained silent for a moment longer. Then, listen to me, all of you. I will not forget this. there's anything at all that I can do back on the other side to help the rest of you, and I'm going to find it, and I'm going to do it. That's why I picked you, man. I trust you. And, at the very least, I will do everything I can to make sure that by the time more of you come join me back at home, that it'll be a better place for all of us. Look, I don't have long now, so just thank you. All of you. I won't forget this. Then he plunges out of sight into the shimmer pool. His voice is audible, but growing faint. It's happening. Goodbye, my friends. Reader, everyone, goodbye. Until we see each other. Edwin earned back his freedom. May he return in glory.
Godspeed, Edwin.
Indeed.
The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may soon commence again.
We did it! It wasn't easy, but we did it. Also, we had the Titan Star active, which I did not plan on doing, but we still pulled it off, just barely. I mean, would have been a totally different story if we had 30 additional life on our Pyre to work with there, but hey, we pulled it off. You know, with all this rights business, there's been this one real fancy move that I've been mulling a while, and I think I just really thought how I could pull it off. Choose a mastery for Ruki. Ruki can jump a second or third time while airborne. Would be pretty sweet. While sprinting, Ruki accelerates faster than usual to an even faster top speed. That would be... Oh, this is the one we picked. After he's banished by an adversary, Ruki has a 50% chance to return after only 1 second, which is also pretty amazing because he is one of the exiles that we are typically very aggressive with. Otherwise, we go this side. Ruki deals an additional 5 damage when plunging into the adversary's Pyre. Also significant because he scores a lot. He's quick, he's easy to get there to score, relatively speaking. But he doesn't cause a lot of damage. So to turn him into someone who can deal more damage would significantly increase his power. I don't jump very often. So in some ways I feel like that may actually not be so worthwhile, at least not with my playstyle. I actually think these two might be the best for us. As for which one we take, I think this one's more defensive. This one is certainly more offensive. Let's go with the more defensive approach and be a little more well-rounded. Alright, no one else to level up?
May the scribes have mercy on us all.
Exiles not chosen for a right gain inspiration. Ah, that's how they do it. They shall gain enlightenment at a faster rate, something something. Because I've deliberately been targeting exiles that have inspiration when I've been doing the rites, but it may be that we deliberately leave someone on the sidelines for a long time, then they gain a ton of inspiration. That may actually be more efficient to do that, and then have them participate once they have boatloads. Anyways, you return to the wagon after having prevailed against the distance in the liberation rite. Not too shabby, people! At least, someone got out of here. You succeeded in liberating Hedwig, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. We did what we could. With each liberation rite, we strive to advance our plan. A brighter future awaits at the end of our path. For now, we must persevere. Okay, so I'm very curious how much our probability of success in the plan increased. I think we were on 31%? It might have been 34. We probably should have checked, just to verify, but let's see. 41%. Okay, so it did increase significantly. I'm not sure if that was 10% or 7%, but a fair bit. Speaking of which, reader, I take it you have seen the stars, or I should say, the lack thereof. You have, or did. Once more, the sky is all abyssal darkness, following the liberation rite. No stars illuminate themselves to guide you further on your path. Then, let us go, once more, to Moonlight Alcove. I've an errand I must run. Again, I'm suspicious of those errands. Besides, once we arrive, best we recover now, and make our ways southward at first light. Alright, and so with that, we are successful with our second liberation rite. It was a close call against the team that has caused us the most trouble, for sure, across the board, but hey, it's done, and we set Hedwyn free, which admittedly I'm still a little conflicted about, because on one hand, I feel like it's great to have him around. He's sort of the go-to leader guy who's been bringing everyone together, the positive attitude that keeps everyone up when it's faced some setbacks, but for those same reasons, he's probably a notable person to have on the other side, and he certainly deserves to be free, so hey, it's the least we can do, right? So anyways, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.